Welcome to Drama Doc, where stories arrive and drama unloads. Let's begin. My fiancé cheated on me with my father. Part 2. Hello, everyone. I honestly did not expect to come back to Reddit and see this much support on my last post. When I wrote the original story, I did not plan on updating at all. I just wanted to get everything off my chest and maybe get some advice from people who were not directly involved. After I finished writing and hit post, I closed my laptop and just sat there for a while. Then everything really started to sink in. Writing the story out had been almost therapeutic in the moment, but once it was posted and I stepped away from it, the reality of everything hit me like a train. To the people who think the story is fake, I honestly wish that were true. If I had this kind of imagination, I would probably be writing novels instead of working a regular 9-to-5 job. When I logged back into Reddit and saw the number of comments and messages, it was honestly overwhelming. I tried reading through as many as I could, but there were simply too many to reply to everyone individually. Just know that I really do appreciate the support and the advice, both positive and negative. A lot of you gave me things to think about. The day after I made my first post, I decided I needed to talk to my mother. I tried calling her several times, but none of my calls were going through. At first, I thought maybe her phone was off or she was busy. But after about a dozen attempts, I started to realize something was probably wrong. I wanted to meet her in person, maybe get lunch somewhere neutral, and tell her everything that had happened. She deserved to know the truth about what her husband had done. Even though I knew the conversation was going to be painful, keeping it from her felt worse. Eventually, I decided the best thing to do was just drive to her house. During the drive, I kept going over the conversation in my head. I tried to think of the best way to tell her. There really is no easy way to say something like that. How do you even begin a sentence like, "Mom, your husband has been sleeping with my fiancée"? The more I thought about it, the worse my anxiety got. At one point, I actually had to pull over on the side of the road because I felt like I was going to be sick. I sat there for a few minutes, trying to calm myself down before continuing. A few miles later, it happened again and I had to pull over a second time. It is not every day that you have to drive somewhere to tell your own mother that her husband has been sleeping with the person you were about to marry. Eventually, I made it to her house. I pulled into the driveway and just sat there in my car for a few minutes, trying to gather my thoughts and steady my breathing. I kept telling myself that I just needed to get through the conversation and tell her the truth. While I was sitting there, the front door suddenly flew open. My mother stepped outside and looked directly at me. I got out of the car, expecting that maybe she was worried about me or confused about why I was there. Instead, she immediately started yelling. She demanded to know how I had the nerve to show up at her house after what I had done to my father. She said that my father had told her everything. According to him, Elle and I had gotten into a fight, and when he tried to break it up, I attacked him. She called me an abuser. She told me I had completely lost control and that she was ashamed of me. She even said that I needed to leave immediately because Elle was not ready to forgive me yet, and if she were smart, she never would. Hearing my own mother say those things to me felt unreal. For a moment, I honestly could not believe what I was hearing. Apparently, my father had taken Elle straight to my parents' house after everything happened. Together, they had told my mother a completely fabricated story about me attacking him. My mom kept going on, repeating what they had told her and accusing me of things that never happened. She barely gave me a chance to speak. Eventually, I snapped. I told her, "Really, Mom? Because your husband has been sleeping with my fiancé. That is why I hit him." I told her that if she did not believe me, I had proof. I pulled out my phone and told her I had a video of what actually happened. Then I said something I probably would not have said if I had been calmer. I told her that if she was willing to believe that story about me without even hearing my side, then she clearly did not think very highly of me. I told her not to expect me to come back looking for an apology later. The moment those words left my mouth, her expression changed completely. Her face dropped in the exact same way mine had when I first walked into my apartment and saw what they were doing. I sent her the video on the spot. She pulled out her own phone and opened it immediately. I stood there while she started watching. She made it to the moment right before the lights came on in the bedroom. Then she stopped the video. She slowly lowered her phone and looked up at me. I could see the realization setting in, but at that point I was too angry and too hurt to stay any longer. I turned around, got back into my car, and started the engine. As I backed out of the driveway, I glanced over and saw her standing there in tears. Part of me felt terrible for her in that moment. She had just discovered that both her husband and her future daughter-in-law had betrayed her. But the things she had said to me before hearing the truth were still echoing in my head. I just could not bring myself to stop and go back. When I got home, I decided the best thing I could do was start removing anything from the apartment that reminded me of Elle or my parents. I started packing up all of Elle's belongings, clothes, personal items, small things she had scattered around the apartment. Every item felt like a reminder of what had happened. I placed all of her things in boxes and stacked them next to the front door. Legally, I could not actually kick her out since she had been living there, even though her name was not on the lease. But I figured that if everything was packed and ready, it would make things simpler whenever she came to pick it up. Anything that reminded me of my parents also went into boxes. Photos, gifts, old family items. My family and I had always been extremely close growing up, but I have never had much tolerance for toxic behavior. Right now, I needed distance from all of it. I also sent a message to Elle's parents. I told them that the engagement was officially over and that their daughter had been cheating on me. I thanked them for the kindness they had shown me over the years, because they really had been supportive during our relationship. Then I asked if they would come pick up her belongings. So far, I have not heard back from them. I am hoping they respond soon and come collect everything. The last thing I want is for Elle to have any reason to come back to the apartment. Right now, I just need space to figure out what my life looks like from here. More drama is waiting. Check out one of these 2 videos next, and subscribe so you don't miss the next upload.